Hello and welcome to Midday Discourse on Global Television. My name is Samuel Odi and thank you for joining us today. And again, happy International Nurses Week to all of our registered nurses and those still aspiring to be nurses. We're wishing you all a happy International Nurses Week. In that light and or on that note, we'll be looking at, a few of the challenges that has been faced by Nigerian nurses. And normally or naturally, worldwide International Nurses Week is being celebrated from the 6th of May to the 12th of May. So all week long has been a celebration, and it hasn't been of much difference because the nurses in Nigeria here are coming out to say they have some concerns instead of them celebrating. They are airing out their concerns. So today we'll be looking at those concerns that they are having, and we aid on the government to come to their rescue and then meet them at their challenges. But not going on, the theme moving forward, the theme for International Nurses Week this year, 2014, theme is our nurses, our future, the economic power of care. Yes, there is no much that can be done in the hospitals without the help of our nurses. On that note, we're going to be looking at, a few notes, and we'll be introducing the guests who will help us extract the challenges that the nurses in Nigeria and Abuja chapter are facing and call on the appropriate bodies to pay attention to that. Moving on, the economic power of care, which creates healthy people and society and drives healthy economy, will be highlighted. So we're just going to be highlighting those challenges that is being faced by the nurses, and then hope that all of their concerns are being, sorted out. The economic power of care, that's what they call themselves. Despite being the backbone of healthcare, nursing often face financial constraint and social devaluation, counting of overreaching term, our nurses, our future, the policy action of ICN, Charter for Change, has chosen to focus on 2020 on the economic power of care. The aim is to rephrase preparation and demonstrate how strategic investments in the nursing industry can be considerable economic and sustainable benefit. Having a healthy nursing sector lead to having a very good having a good medical sector. That's part of it. All of this works hand in hand, and the nurses have actually come out to say they are being devalued by society and they are not being given the respect which is accorded to them. But aside that, it's still in the spirit of celebration, but down here in Abuja chapter, they think they to have some challenges, and then we are looking at how all those challenges will be extracted on today's edition of Midday Discourse, and how we hope that the government will do the needful, the bodies in charge will do the needful for all Nigerians to have a sustainable health sector and have staffing that would also be at the beck and call of every patient, and then for them as well to be happy to provide those services. And we're going on a quick break now, and then when we come back, I'll be introducing my guest, who is a registered nurse, and he will be explaining the challenges that has been faced by this sector, and then we hope to get the challenges resolved within the shortest period of time. Do stay with us, we'll be right back. The nurses who marched from the Federal Secretariat to the House of Representatives complained that the verification portal has been shut down since November 2023 by the Council. They called on the House of Representatives to come to the aid of nurses and appealed to the Nursing and Midwife Council of Nigeria to reopen the verification portal without conditions.
The portal was closed down in November, and we were waiting for a reopening, maybe with a better verification rules. But when they reopened, they came up with a verification guideline that does not go well with any nurse. That a nurse will have to study, train, or practice 2 years after education before you can qualify to be verified. Then that the verification that is supposed to take maximum 24 hours is going to take 6 months to a year. Okay? Then another thing, we will need to get a letter of good standing. I keep saying it. A letter of good standing is for job referencing. For crying out loud, they licensed us. The people that are asking for verification are not asking for if this person is working well.
We want good working environment for nurses. Nurses should not be relegated. They should be able to do whatever they want to do. They should not cage us. We are human beings. We have our fundamental human rights. So that is why we are here today, to tell them that we don't want to be suffering in silence and keep on working. We are not comfortable. The country is no longer comfortable for us.
That nurses are the backbone of the healthcare system, and the backbone of the healthcare system should be properly taken care of. A king should be treated as a king, not as a slave. Our salary is nothing to write home about, so we need increment in our salaries as well. And then the verification rules should be reversed. It should be reversed with immediate effect. And
the Chairman Health Committee, Honorable Amos Magaji, assured the nurses that he will invite the members of the Nursing and Midwife Council of Nigeria for a meeting and their complaint will be addressed.
Many of the nurses that are in locum right now will be absorbed into permanent employment. But there is a process. So you guys need to exercise patience and see that that is done. And I'm assuring you, I've sat with the Minister of Health and he's doing wonderfully well in issues regarding health of Nigerians. And then the various committee of health in National Assembly and of course the Senate, every registered nurse and medical professional is gainfully employed in Nigeria.
Samuel Odi reporting for Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. And if you're just joining us, this is Midday Discourse on Global Television. Today we're looking at, in the spirit of celebration, we are also going to be looking at the challenges that the nurses sector of Nigeria has been facing. On Wednesday they had the chapter nurses, Abuja Nursing chapter had a little, rally that led all to the State House, and then they were able to meet with the chairman committee of health. Chairman Committee of Health, Honorable Amos Magaji, and then they laid out their concerns. They told him the challenges that they're facing, and they were assured that the government and the Renewed Hope agenda is doing something in regards or in line to that. So there are other challenges that were also outlisted by the nurses, and then we are hoping to get feedback and see how far they've gone with how far they've gone from what was said on Wednesday till date. They listed a series of challenges about verification portal being shut down by the ministry, and then stating that they are having shortage of staff, and then verification takes something that takes 24 to 48 hours now has been taking lots of months, and now the midwifery and association has put a total hold on the verification portal. The portal now has been shut down since November 2023, and it has been a series of challenges that new nurses now can be able to get verified, can get certified, can get registered. All of these concerns and more are what they outlisted, and then we're hoping to know how far they've gone. And that, despite the fact we're still waiting on our guests to join us to give us, heads up on what has been happening, we just want to outlist some of the challenges that they laid down. They made mention of having shortage of staff, and that leads to work overload, high risks of decisions, a whole lot emotional damage, physical damage, a whole lot of, they listed a whole lot, and then they're looking at how, they can all come out from this, walk around it, and then help the sector. And then, because health is wealth, they say, and we need very healthy nurse in Nigeria to be able to, take care of our unhealthy patients. So without nurses, even the doctors themselves can't, function properly, because it's a pari passu. They all work as a team, and like I always say, when the left hand washes the right washes the left. So that is just what it is between nurses and doctors. In every other field as well, there are other persons. They are team players, and they are role players. So if the doctors are the actual team players, and the nurses are the role players, so you need to get your role player equipped so that he can be able to function, so can make the job easy for you as a team player. My producer just told me that our guest has joined. If I'm right, please. Hello, Mr. Godwin, Nurse Godwin Madabuchi. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Thank you for joining us today on Midday Discuss. How are you doing, sir?
Okay, good to be here. Thank you very much.
Yes. So, you had a rally on Wednesday, and a few of your concerns was aired to the Chairman Committee for Health. So how is that coming up?
Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You very well. Please come again.
I said you had a rally on Wednesday this week where you met with the Chairman Committee on Health, where the nurses, aired their concerns and talked about the few challenges that they've been facing. So how has that been coming up? Has there been any call? Has there been any, improvement from that day?
Any call that we have confirmed, but I think they doing. Can you hear me? Okay.
Say again. I lost you for a minute. Can you recap, please?
Yes, I said there have not been any call that we have confirmed yet, but so far I think during the
We seem to have a bit of network challenge. We just hope that get resolved really, really soon. Yeah, so he is about to say something about getting the call. So we want to be sure if they've gotten a call or they are yet to get a call. There are a series of challenges that were listed, and we're just hoping to get those straight and then also know why they are refusing, the major reason why the nurses chapter here in Abuja are really, really refusing to celebrate the International Nurses Week, which is something that happens annually. And this year they actually have a very, very interesting, theme that says, our nurses are future, the economic power of care. That's a very, very strong and reasonable theme. So they should be celebrating in this light, but the challenge is that they are facing is, lacking them and then drawing them backwards. So we just want to get to the root of it. Mr. Godwin, Nurse Godwin, like you like to be called, can you hear me?
All right, thank you very much. So I said, but during the nurses rally, during the nurses conference meeting, some notifications based on the rally and some nurses that went to court, the diaspora nurses that went to court, and asking them to withdraw the case from court and see how the NAM can take charge of the situation. But from us, because coming late in the sense that for November, when the verification portal was shut down, we expected NAM to react, which NAM never reacted. And when some nurses, like for us as nurses, when we came together and said no, that we have to act, and we started asking questions why the verification portal, the NMCN came up with a new verification guideline, which became the issue of the day. So we did rally on Wednesday. Now we are here again, but the honorable member assured us that the following day he will call the relevant stakeholders to get in touch with us. But as we speak, we've not confirmed any calls that have been going on.
Okay. So what you said, names changed the portal and then they changed the guideline. So what was the old guideline and what's the new guideline?
The new guideline before now, it says that a nurse must work for 2 years before the nurse could be qualified to graduate education. It then means that after graduation, 2 years in Nigeria, that is one part of it. Know that these nurses are not trained by Nigeria. Ask the new nurse to train to work for 2 years after graduation before the nurse can apply for verification. That is one. Secondly, you said you must get letter of good standing from the authorities of any hospital you are working. And who owns the authority? They are medical doctors or any other facilities. Now, how will you as a professional go to another professional to get a letter of good standing? It is you as a professional shooting yourself on the leg. Because take for instance, if a medical doctor or a CMD of a facility don't want you to leave his facility, you letter of good standing and you are now stuck. It then means that a CMD, knowing that you cannot leave them if for greener pastures. That is two. Secondly, a certificate that NMCN is giving us, minimum of 6 months and maximum of 18 months to verify. Like for people that wrote IELTS that IELTS expires after 2 years. So if you are verifying that certificate for the verification that you are looking for, your exam that you wrote will expire and you will still be in Nigeria. Exam to go. That is another section of it. The worst part of it is that you have to go back to get a letter of good standing. 2 weeks after that school started extorting students for letter of good standing. Circulars online, the money you pay for letter of good standing, it is extortion. And know that these people, we are not trained by the Nigerian government. We were taught by the Nigerian government. So why do they have to subject us to this difficult policies for us to go?
Okay. So, you listed a lot of challenges, right? So now, what other issues are you all facing in terms of staffing?
Come again?
What other challenges are you all facing in terms of staffing? Because you made mentions of shortage of staff. Is the government not creating enough jobs, or is the verification portal being shut down one of the reasons why you don't have enough staff?
No. You know that for now, the government will always tell you we're not having brain drain in the nursing profession. As I'm sitting here, I can tell you that we still have a job. We have a lot of them on the street that without a job. So if you say we have brain drain, we still go around, go to government hospitals, go around and you see hospitals you see nurses lying brain drain. There's no brain drain in Nigerian nursing profession. There's no brain drain at all. Is that you will go to school. Let's take for instance, if you go to the universities now, you will notice that student is paying, if a medicine student is paying nursing student is also paying 300,000 for school fees. That same nursing student will get 250 and above. A nursing student will graduate and is being paid 45,000. The same university. And when you come to the street, you still job. So there's no brain drain at all. Brain drain has never been.
Do you think the main reason why this verification portal is being shut down is because of the fact that a whole lot of our medical practitioners are traveling out of the countries? Do you think the portal, I know the portal has a role to play to any medical practitioner, nurse or a doctor who needs to travel. So do you think the portal being shut down by the commission is the reason why, people traveling is the reason why the portal is shut down?
Well, the reason for us as nurses, the reason the verification portal is shut down is witch hunting. There's never a day that we lack nurses in the nursing profession in Nigeria. Because if you say, for your question, you use the word medical practitioner, but in reality, it's just nurses that is being affected because the medical practitioners are still going, as their portal is still open, they are still verifying. It's just nurses that is being witch hunted because is around the verification portal. There is no reason for the government or the NMCN, which is our council, to we don't go to people don't travel to Europe just because they want to go and work in Europe. Some persons after school of nursing or after their first degree in nursing, they want to further their education, and they feel that going to Europe to have their specialty is the best way for them. But if the verification portal is shut down, they can no longer practice. They cannot further their education, and they cannot go out to practice and get the nurse. My friend is a nurse. The mother is a nurse. The elder brother is a nurse. But the three of them cannot raise up money for MRI, and these are nurses. And in Nigeria, many people believe that when you are a nurse, you are living a good life. But in reality, it's closed down because they are only witch hunting nurses and nothing more. Thank you.
Okay. looking at aspect of resources and finance now, are you saying that the nurses now are not being properly equipped to be able to, carry out their assignment, and are they being underpaid? From what you said you have a friend who almost everybody in the family is a nurse, and now they can't pay for MRI. So are you saying that nurses are being underpaid?
Yes, it is no news that nurses in Nigeria are being underpaid, and that is why many nurses see the need to travel to Europe or to travel abroad to seek greener pastures. I gave you an example of the university graduate nurse and the university medicine student paid the same school fees. One is paid above 250, and another is down paid less than 50,000 every month. What if for you as a staff, what will you now do? You have to go to where you are appreciated, because I feel that for many Nigerians don't feel that nursing job is very easy in the job on the street, but that is not what it is. We take a lot of determination, it takes a lot of courage and patience for you to do this job. When we put our mind to it, we are not being appreciated. Everybody will tell you nurses are the bedrock of the hospital. Nurses are the bedrock of the hospital. Yeah. At the end of the day, you see other professionals in the hospital, non-medical professionals. Facilitate the profession that we said we are the bedrock of. So for us, it is no longer a news that we are downpaid a lot.
So, okay, you made mention about doctors earning higher. So what can you say is the reasons behind all of this now? Because you all are in the same field. So why do you think the doctors earn higher than the nurses, and what do you think should be done differently in terms like this?
For us, I think the nursing profession needs a directorate, because when you go to the medical doctors, lab technicians have, but the nursing profession don't have. So when you structure of, see, when you come to the table where they set the salary structure at that level, so it then means that whatever falls on the table is eating from, and that is not a good way to go. So for us, we need a director. This is what nursing should be like in Nigeria. That is what nursing profession should be like in Nigeria. Decide and set goals and standard for the profession.
Okay, talking about setting goals now, how does the government come in now? What role do you expect the government to play for all of this now? These challenges now you're listing now about nurses being underpaid and not being properly appreciated. We'll go on a quick break before you answer this. So are this happening just in private hospitals, or it's also happening in the government hospitals? We'll be going on a quick break, Nurse Godwin. When we come back, you kindly be with me. When we come back, you kindly answer the questions. Midday Discourse returns in a minute.
Sure.
I think it has been start early. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Midday Discourse on Global Television, and my name is Samuel Odi. We've been having a very interesting conversation with Nurse Godwin, and we've been extracting the challenges that is being faced by nurses in Nigeria, mostly here in Abuja chapter. We don't know about every other part, but this challenge is mostly about payment and verification portal being shut down is something that is affecting nurses all over the country. So Godwin has been giving us a few, outlooks, and then from their rally on Wednesday and the feedback that they are still yet to receive. Nurse Godwin, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, before we went on a quick break, I wanted us to find out if the challenge about being underpaid is coming from government hospitals or private hospitals. So I just want to get this fact straight. Are nurses being more appreciated in private hospitals than government hospitals?
No, I think nurses are being more appreciated in government hospitals than in private hospitals
Good.
because in government hospitals, they work 3 shifts.
Okay.
So they have a little time for themselves to do other things. But in private hospital, you don't even have time to breathe because they want you to work from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. There is no time for you to rest. There's no time for you to do anything at all, and you are down paid. Now, but still the same, both private and government we are being down paid because
Okay.
you go to the government hospital, a chief nursing officer is collecting the salary a young medical doctor that will just finish from medical school will collect for as a beginner, whereas a chief nursing officer is there that have stayed for work for over 30 years, that is being paid the same equivalent salary. When you even in entrance, no nurse is supposed to be a junior staff, but if you go to government hospital these days, they are employing nurses as junior staffs. You employ there's a teaching hospital where I don't want to call name, where a nurse is being employed at level 6 on a probation for 2 years and in a government facility. And so you see these are the kind of injustice that we've been crying for. And if the government don't monitor this injustice, it keeps getting worse because every day we wake up to get to one maltreatment coming from government or private owners that owns the facility. We keep getting this injustice and nobody to fight for us. So when we don't have a directorate that we can channel our problem to in terms of financing and salary structure in Nigeria, I think there is no way that you can stop Nigerian nurses from going to get greener pastures in other parts of the country. Thank you.
Okay, at least the governments are doing well in terms of, giving the nurses 3 shifts and also giving them time for themselves. So since the government are doing that, we are key and we're sure that the government will also do more to be able to improve the lifestyle and payment structure of the nurses, in the government hospitals. So now, what can be done differently now in terms of, by the government, in terms of the fact that a whole lot of nurses that are in the private sectors are not being treated, and what policies do you think should be in place to be able to checkmate what's actually going on in the private sectors?
Now, like the first and foremost, we need a directorate. When nursing profession have a directorate, that is the first point. That is the first point where they will begin to do, where they will be monitoring. If we don't, part of the problem we have in the private sector is we don't have people to monitor these facilities. Now, how do you do it? When there is a directorate, we monitor private hospital for quacks. If we can push out the quacks from service, then we begin to have things like you can now control the system. We push out the quack, we control the system, and now we can now begin to demand for a better pay, because I think that is one of the reasons why it is most people are being downpaid because the structure is being flooded by quacks. So and they now feel that okay, if the quacks is cheaper, why not go for quacks? So I think if we have a directorate, we can push out those quacks out of the system and we begin to demand for a better pay. I think that is the main reason to comb the situation on ground.
Okay, talking about quacks now, having quacks in the medical sector, like that's in hospitals now, what does that mean to the patients now? What does that mean to the Nigerian people? Because you guys are like the economic care of like mostly like the backbone of every hospital and pharmacy wherever you are. So what can be done now to, take away these quacks from the system and also have actual well-trained nurses? Like when I mean trained, those that have gone to nursing school, graduated, went to university, studied nursing, go to nursing school, graduated, and being registered. How can we differentiate them from those quacks? Because at the end of the day, if our hospitals are filled with quack nurses, obviously the lives of citizens, it's always going to be at stake. It's just going to be like someone is signing a death warrant to go to a hospital that is filled with quack doctors. So is there any portal that you have for nurses, that's nurses that are registered, aside from the one that has been shut down?
Currently, currently, we don't have any portal we have a portal where you can verify your license, but we don't have any portal where the community can just Google and see your name to check if you are a registered nurse or not. But if we have a monitoring team that will always be going from facilities to facilities, ensuring that you only have registered nurses on ground or registered medical practitioners. I think our medical system in the public, we have a good medical care, and for government to help this, we need constant monitoring and skills acquisition, where you allow the health professionals to go for further training and to improve themselves.
Okay, let's talk about equipment now. Equipment for nurses. What can you tell us about the level of equipment that you have in terms of providing a very, very good health service for your patients, which are obviously Nigerians?
Yes, you know that for me, I work in the private sector, and my my acquisition I got from a private sector. So and it is a private business. If you want to improve your business, then you need to get equipment and for yourself, for your patients, and for the general public at large. So I think that in Nigeria, most private hospitals have more equipment than some of the government hospitals, which is not very good. I think the government is supposed to do more for the nurses and for the doctors and all other staff working in the private sector, in the government hospitals, so that they can improve their knowledge and improve their skills for patient growth and quality healthcare.
Okay. Okay. The government, I'm sure that's one of the areas that Mr. President in the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is paying attention to, and the federal and the Honorable Minister of State for Health. So I'm sure those are angles that they are looking into, and they've promised us to provide, very key equipment needed for, adequate medical services. So what do you think now the government should do, because time is running out and time is refusing to be our friend at this point? So what do you think should be done differently, and how soon do you think the verification portal now will be open?
For now, we don't know how long it will take, but I think we are still on it. We will do our best to ensure that the verification portal is open almost immediately. and the House of Rep have given us their word that they will work on it and they will get back to us. If we wait for some time and we don't hear from them, we'll go back to the House and ask why. So I think that for now, we keep our fingers crossed and wait for the government. Since our case we've made our formal report with the government, we wait for them to decide and see what we wait and see what they can do, what they have been doing against it. Then we wait. I think that's the only thing we do. For now, we wait.
Okay, we wait. We said, Nurse Godwin Madabuchi, thank you so much for joining us today on Midday Discourse out of your busy schedule. And we appreciate you, and we're sure the government are doing everything possible to resolve the issue of the verification portal being shut down since 2023, November 2023, and also equipping our own general hospitals. So thank you so much for joining us today on Midday Discourse, Nurse Godwin.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. You have a great day. So it's been all out and been there are a lot of challenges that are being faced by the nurses, and the government has promised, part of the renewed hope agenda, that medical supplies and having adequate supplies for adequate equipment for medical practitioners will be provided, which I know and trust that Mr. President has been on it and working towards it just as he promised. So that's how much time will permit us to take today on Midday Discuss. We're saying happy International Nurses Week to all nurses worldwide. We appreciate you. We see your work. We see your efforts. And we know the government is going to do everything within her power to make sure the government provides you with everything you need. We want to say thank you so much for your services. We do appreciate you. And thank you for joining me today on Midday Discourse. My name is Samuel Odi. You have a fabulous weekend ahead. Stay healthy, hydrate yourself, and do something fun. Spend time with your kids. Good afternoon. I'll see you Monday. Bye for now.